all out on a sunrise morning. Welcome. And now at this time, we will ask Rotarian Danny to bring the invocation, please.
Good morning, everyone. O God and giver of all good, we thank thee for our daily food. May Rotary friends and Rotary ways help us to serve thee all our days.
Amen. Thank you. The Loyal Toast by Rotarian Tanisha Ferguson, please.
Mike.
Can you hear me? Good morning, all.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Raise your cups, your mugs to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
The Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Welcoming visiting Rotarians, Secretary Donette.
You're muted, Donette. You're muted.
Yes, good morning again, everyone, and welcome to another Sunrise meeting. We have a number of visitors this morning, visiting Rotarians rather. I'll start with our guest speaker, Rotarian or past president, George Robertson-Burnett. Welcome. Also, I'm sorry? PDG. PDG, George.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome, DG Louis, all the way from St. Martin.
DGE.
DGE, Louis. Okay, then we have our President Darren Hans from Plymouth in the UK. He's president of the Rotary Club of Plimpton. Did I get the correct pronunciation?
That's right, yep. Good morning, everyone.
Yes.
Great to be here.
Welcome. We also have PP Valerie Dean Abaco. We have Lindsay, our polio chair, Lindsay Cadzino.
Secretary.
Right? I'm sorry?
District Secretary. Sorry, Treasurer.
Treasurer. Yeah.
A district treasurer, right? We also have
Gotta get in there before Felix gives you trouble.
yes, we have PP Kim from Turks and Caicos. Welcome, PP Kim. President Alicia Lake, St. Martin. We have Rotarian Carrion. I think it's Old Fort. Is that it, Carrion? Kellyanne, sorry. Kellyanne, is it Old Fort?
No, Southeast Nassau. Good morning, everyone.
Okay, good morning. From Southeast Nassau. I'm seeing who else. That's it for our visiting. Did I miss anyone? I'm scanning the Zoom to see if anyone came on later. And I think that's it. So welcome to all our Rotarians visiting. Welcome to our Rotaract President, Latoya Silva. Good to see you so early.
Good morning.
Morning.
All right. Did we invite any guests to our meeting? Are there any visitors?
We have Matt and Cleveland visiting.
Matt, welcome.
Good morning.
Matt, it's great to have you.
Welcome, Matt.
Only your sponsor could pull one like that on you.
He's mean.
I know you'll forgive him. All right, so we seem to have covered everyone. And so let me welcome all our Rotarians. Welcome Rotarian Barry Smith. And I won't single out anyone else, just a very special welcome to all, and I hope you enjoy the meeting. And just to plug a little, if you joined after we announced the raffle, our raffle today is an Amazon gift card for $50. So if you're interested, please send a note in the group chat and I'll make a note of it. Thank you and welcome. Do enjoy the meeting. Back to
And
you,
thank
President
you.
Francis.
Thank you, Secretary Burnett, and a special welcome to all of our visiting Rotarians. Welcome, and it's good to have you this morning joining our meeting. And now we'll have a Rotary Minute video presentation.
He should have stayed there and gone all the way into Baghdad. We found out a decade later what a mistake that would have been. Yeah, Tim Baker is one of Baker's better lines. Is nobody says that anymore. It was 2004, 2005.
One moment while I queue up the video. Can you use your mic, whoever that is, please?
Was on Sunday, August 5th, 1990, when he's coming back from Camp David. He's talking to his tape recorder diary, and he's worrying about what the Arab world will actually stand up to. And he is
Are we having some challenges with the video?
Yes, we're having a slight challenge, but I'm gonna get over that very.
Okay.
I'm a Rotarian, Massachusetts Rotary Club. District 7910 District Assembly back in 2012. And
Are you guys hearing anything?
To talk about one thing.
I'm hearing it.
Sorry?
Members.
I'm hearing.
You need to share your
I'm
screen.
hearing it very clearly.
Start off this journey here. I just want to let you know that I'm going to talk about some innovative concepts, but none of these are going to be out of
the video. Okay.
And the reality is, as Einstein says, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. And that's one of the problematic things that I've detected with Rotarians. They just can't explain it simply, and they do it more so and worse over from the wrong perspective to potential Rotarians and onlookers of wanting to know more about what Rotary is all about. So here's the million-dollar question. What is the Rotary Club, and what do you guys do anyways? I'm not sure, but if you're anything like me, this is pretty much what 9.99 of every 10 people say to me. They just don't know what we do, and there really is a reason for that. But let's start at the top here at Kaylin Bangery, who is Rotary International's president. And in the December 2012 Rotarian magazine, Kaylin was saying, the figures tell us that while enough new members join Rotary every year and everywhere, too many exit on an ongoing basis. That is a major problem. And what I want to do is have some fun with this. And the reality is, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a big reason. It's because.
All right, so that's just a teaser.
We should listen twice as much as we talk. And the reality is, what most people do, and I love this movie, The Sandlot, but the dog in the Sandlot, I found this picture on the internet. We really do. We become.
Okay, so that was just a teaser as we celebrate Membership
Month.
Okay, so back to you, President.
Thank you, Secretary Burnett, for that video presentation this morning. And now we'll invite Sergeant at Arms, Father P, to give us a joke.
To extract much needed fines.
Joke time.
Oh, we need some money.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, Madam President, fellow members, visitors, guest speakers, good morning. Good to see you all. I'm glad we all survived. We need to start off the meeting by thanking God for that collectively, right? Okay, so all of us who survived the hurricane, $1 for happy dollar. Happy dollar, everybody. Happy dollar. Because I think we all are really grateful for how little damage was done.
Father P, if I could interject there.
Yes.
I think we need to increase that to at least $5 minimum.
Oh, and I was, yeah, that's right. That's $5. Okay.
Thank you.
$5. I agree. $5. Happy dollar, $5. Thank God, all of us. Now, is there anybody who didn't have the power off during the hurricane?
No power off at all for me.
Really?
Okay.
That's another $5.
That'll be $5, please.
No, that should be $100.
Okay.
That's true.
I go with Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Let Father P do his job. Y'all don't try to do Father P's job. Let him do his job.
I see, Lindsay, you have on a hat. Is that so? A cap? Is that,
yes,
Lindsay? You have on a cap?
I do.
In our Rotary meeting?
In normal Rotary meeting, yes.
Yes. Give $5 for wearing a cap, please. All the men who are wearing short pants.
Oh, you can tell.
No, is it the truth?
Jeez. Jeez. Boy.
Those who so bold enough to want to expose their shortcomings in public.
Let me shut up. I can take my video off now.
You need
who wearing a beard?
Oh, jeez.
Like, you get hit hard. Give me $10.
I believe in you personally.
Yeah. I have to put up some money too for the short pants. How many people wearing long pants? How many of the fellas wearing long pants? Anybody wearing long pants? Huh? Anybody wearing long pants? If you're wearing long pants, I don't know where you think you're going with long pants today, because today is really lockdown day.
It is.
So unless you're an essential worker. So if you're wearing long pants, it means that you really just didn't think about all the implications of that. So that's going to cost you $2. All who went out yesterday and know they didn't go to the shop. $3, please. All who ain't wearing pin, $2. All who signed in late, $2. Is that all? Is that enough money, Madam President? Or
I am.
Give everybody a break.
Secretary Donnet, are you keeping record?
I am.
Thank you.
Give them a break. Okay, fella went to the pharmacy and say, the pharmacist told him, sir, please understand, you need a proper prescription for an antidepressant pill. Simply showing your marriage certificate and your wife's picture is not sufficient. Donette?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's your joke. I can tell on you.
You could tell on me.
Hey, wait, one thing.
Don't tell on me, man. I talk about telling on me. This woman was cheating on her husband, and he came. I guess as a priest, you all want to know where I get all this from. Anyway, this woman was cheating on her husband, so she and the fella came home, so she devised a scheme. She said, okay, you stand right here, and you act like a statue. And she got some baby some baby powder, and she poured it all over him. So he was standing very, very still in the corner. And so the fella came in. So he asked the husband, "Who is this? Or what is this?" He said, "Oh, this is a statue. The neighbor got one, and I really needed to get one as well." It's okay, fine. So about 4 hours later, he said, told his wife, say, "I'm hungry, let me go get something to eat." So he went and he got 2 beers and 2 sandwiches. On his way back to the room, he stopped at the statue and he offered the statue a beer and a sandwich. So the fella didn't take it at first. So the husband insisted, "Hey man, take this. I was in a similar position with the neighbor 2 weeks ago, and I was like that for 2 days and nobody gave me anything to eat." Anyway, so talk about caring for a neighbor. There it is. Okay.
President, I think you need to find the Sarge.
All right, I'll put in an extra 50 cents.
$10 for the Sarge. $10, please.
All right, y'all have a good day.
Thank you, Sarge.
God bless.
And now we'll have our announcements. Membership Director Rotarian Akema. She will come and tell us what she has planned for Membership Month. Rotarian Akema.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It is Membership Month. Yay! Yay! For the whole month.
Yes.
Finally, we're here in August. Membership Month is all about you, the members of Rotary Club of Nassau Sunrise. This year, we want to engage everybody to find out your suggestions and your ways that we can improve our club and membership experience, as well as ultimately impact positively our communities. So the membership committee has organized a few focus groups, which will be the highlight of Membership Month. Last night we kicked off with the yellow team. All of the focus groups will be organized through your color groups. And last night, like I said, we started off with the yellow team. It was an exciting experience. It was a productive conversation. We got a lot of suggestions, a lot of comments on how we can make our environment and as well as our club better. The things that we shared within the focus group is very inspiring, very encouraging. And I want to encourage all the other persons within the other color teams. We have sent out the schedule of when your color team will be meeting for the focus groups. We encourage you to be a part of that and stay tuned for our emails, notifications when your focus group will be held. Thank you again to the members of the yellow team. They were open, honest, they engaged the entire night. Like I said, we got a lot of feedback from you on how we can make our club better. And we hope to get the same response from all the other team members. Thank you.
Thank you, Rotarian Akema. And now we'll hear from our literacy chair, Rotarian Janelle Johnson. Thank you.
Not seeing Janelle, Press.
Janelle isn't online this morning.
But I know she has a number of initiatives coming up, the Super Reading Club, among others. So look out in the WhatsApp chat for the announcement.
Yes, we probably will come on later. And now moving right along, we'll ask PDG Felix to introduce our guest speaker. But before I do that, are there any other announcements? Okay.
No, just I saw some people who just showed Barrett Miller. Please put in your fine. All of those who came late after the prayer, please put in your fine. Some of you didn't even check in, but bring that money.
Just a
Thank
quick
you.
one, President. I noticed that President Stephen Dean joined us after the welcome, so I just want to welcome him to our meeting.
Yes, welcome, President Stephen Dean.
Thank you. Thank you.
I saw he got that big check yesterday from who? From where was it?
Kelly.
Where was it, Brother Dean?
Kelly's.
Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly's
Well
disaster.
done. Well
And
done, President Stephen.
Yes,
then I saw a
great
notice
job,
that
great
said,
job.
I saw that a notice that said Kelly's closed down until further notice. So, Brother Dean, it looked like you closed down Kelly's. Please put in $5.
No problem. It's my pleasure.
Secretary Donette, are you taking your notes?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. We'll now invite PDG Felix to introduce our guest speaker this morning.
Good morning, President, family of Rotary. It's my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker this morning, past District Governor and Rotary Coordinator, George Robertson-Burnett. Born in Aberdeen, Scotland, George was educated at Aberdeen Grammar School and Aberdeen College of Commerce. First employed as a fledgling journalist, George went on to serve Her Majesty's government in the Smuggling and Drug Enforcement Department. After moving to England, George started his own company, George Hotels Limited, and specialized in ownership and operations of hotels, restaurants, and English pubs. George sold all of his UK business interests and moved to the United States in 2004 with his wife Carol and his daughter Pippa. George started GRB Properties LLC in Florida, but retired in 2008 when he secured green card residency. George, Carol, and Pippa became US citizens in 2015. A past president of the Bartow Rotary Club and past district governor of District 6890 in 2013-14. George served a 4-year term as an assistant Rotary coordinator from 2014 to 2018, and is now the Rotary coordinator for Rotary Zone 34. That makes him my Rotary boss. George and Carol are major donors to George and Carol are major donors to the Rotary Foundation, and George is a member of the Paul Harris Society. Rotary Club of Nassau Sunrise, please welcome our guest speaker, Rotary Coordinator, George Robertson.
Good morning, one and all. It's so good to be with you. Thank you, President Francis, Secretary Donette.
Thank you.
And DGE Lewis, good to see you. And PDG Felix, always a pleasure to see you. And my dear friend, Lindsay Cancino, a long time no see, Lindsay. So it's great to be with you this morning. Now, I'd like to share screen, so I hope that I can do that. Donette, it looks like that's absolutely, because it's far better to look at something other than me, I can assure you. Nearly there. So I hope you're seeing my screen now.
Yes.
Excellent. We're off to a great start then. So here I am. I'm delighted to be with you, and thank you so much for the invitation. I hope that this will work. Yes, hey, look, we're going to have some fun this morning. It's not all about being serious in Rotary. It's about having fun as well. So I'm going to give you a little bit of knowledge about me, for those who don't know me, go into some membership aspects, and hopefully have a bit of fun while we go on. So there we are. This is me, Rotary Coordinator for Zone 34, but we'll come to that, because that's not how I see myself. This is how I see myself. Rotary Braveheart. I love this. Maybe it's a bit more like that. That's probably more like how I look. But anyway, I've been using this slide since 2013, and I stopped using it for a short while, and people said, please bring back Blueface. So I'm your Rotary Coordinator, Blueface, and that's certainly how I see myself. So I arrived in 2004, and for those who remember 2004, it was a pretty bad year for hurricanes here in Florida. We had 4, which actually went straight over and put an oak tree in my new house in Bartow, Florida, which was not great. You know, I come from Scotland. We don't have great weather, but we've got nothing that'll kill you. You know, I mean, it was quite a culture shock to come here and find that you know, the weather was. I came here for the hot weather and arrived in 2004, and it was quite an awakening. So here's my family. On my left is my daughter Philippa, which is shortened in the UK to Pippa, and my wife Carol on the right. Now I know what you're thinking, but I married her for her money. So that's the family I brought here in 2004, and we've been happy to be in the United States ever since then. So in 2004, within 2 weeks of arrival, I met this my other woman, because she is an absolutely dear lady who changed my life. Because she called me and she said, would you like to come to lunch? Now, everybody on this call knows when you get that call, do you want to come to lunch? That's another way of saying, do you want to join Rotary? I didn't know that at the time, but within 2 weeks of arrival, I went to the Rotary Club of Bartow. I went from knowing 0 people in the United States, apart from my own family, of course, to knowing 72 people in my Rotary Club. And I've never looked back since. You know, that's the great thing about Rotary. What an introduction to a community. And I have loved being in the Rotary Club of Bartow ever since. So much so that I've moved location 3 times now. But I've never changed my Rotary Club. I still drive back to Bartow because maybe they're the only club that would have me anyway, so I don't want to take the chance and lose them now that I've got them. And it's always a pleasure to go to my Rotary Club in Bartow. I had a bit of a misconception in actuality when she called me and said, do you want to come to lunch? And I said, well, oh yeah, where will we go? And she said, well, we'll go to the Rotary Club. And I said, well, when does that mean? She said, Wednesday lunchtime. And you know, I have this preconceived idea, being from Scotland, because Rotary would meet in the best hotel in town. It would generally meet in the evening, and you would certainly walk in there at 7 o'clock, and a good chance that you would stagger out because adult beverages are usually involved with Rotary. And I thought, well, I really don't want to be going to Rotary on a Wednesday lunchtime and writing off the rest of Wednesday, because I'm partial to my own national drink. Anyway, I found when I went up there that the only liquid they had was this one. Now, I don't know if you know, but in the United Kingdom, iced tea is not a thing. It is absolutely not a thing. So it came as a bit of a culture shock to me that this iced tea, I always say, you know, I think that the Americans invented iced tea when they threw the tea into Boston Harbor. You know, it was a great protest, but it kind of sucks as a drink for us Brit folks. Anyway, I've never drunk it since, so I move on from that. So I became president of my club, despite the fact that not many people could understand what I was saying. They weren't very attuned to my Scottish brogue, but anyway, they made me president anyway. And I was very, very pleased to go to Pets that year. Now, in those days in Florida, we have all Florida Pets, which means 8 districts do their pets all together. And they would actually take your photograph when you arrived at Pets to make sure that you know, they knew who you were and you got a badge with your photograph and your name. So here's my photograph. Yep. I was the deer in the headlights that went along to Pets, not really knowing an awful lot about Rotary. But you know what? I got my eyes opened when I went to Pets. It was the most fabulous experience, recognizing the good that Rotary does, not just in my own community, but throughout the whole of Florida and throughout the world. And it really was that aha moment for me, listening to these fabulous speakers at Pets and seeing Rotary beyond the club, which was absolutely fabulous. When I got back to my club and started my presidency, I went through the budget and saw that there was nothing for polio in our budget, nothing to send up. And because polio was close to my heart, I actually thought, well, we'll need to raise money somehow. So we decided to save our loose change, what we generally call shrapnel in the UK. Anyway, the loose change in your pocket, when you come back from the shopping, throw it in a jar, and we would collect it 3 months later, send it up to polio, which was great. 3 months later, we sent $3,700 up to polio, and I was advised that as president, I'd had the most coins, which didn't surprise me because obviously I was very keen on this, but also that I had the least money. And you think, well, how could I have the most coins with the least money? Well, there was not one quarter in your jar. Now, I know that the Scots are known for having short arms and deep pockets, but I can assure you that I had not been taking the quarters out of this jar, and I couldn't figure this out. So let me reintroduce my daughter. Here she is, and this is her today, rather than, she was 8 years old at the time. As fast as I was putting the quarters in there, she was taking them out, and she had them all at home in her room because she liked the big shiny ones at 8 years old. She loved those quarters. So when I went home, I said, you know, Pippa, you caused me a great deal of embarrassment at Rotary today because I didn't seem to have any quarters in my jar. She said, "Oh, I have them, Dad. They're in the bedroom." So so great. So I gave her that talk about polio, and at the time in 2008, it only took 50 cents to save a child from that terrible disease. So I said to her, you know, Pippa, it only took would only take 2 of those coins to save a child from a terrible, terrible disease, and she got it, and she's had it ever since. She's now a Paul Harris Fellow. You know, at the end of the week, when I gave her $10 pocket money, she gave me it right back. And she said, "Could you save 20 children with my pocket money?" And, you know, I did. I sent it to the foundation. And it always reminds me, it's not necessarily how much you give, it's the heart you give it with. And every Christmas, she tapes 2 quarters to my Christmas present, which I always think is kind of cool. So thank you, Pippa, for understanding the foundation. You know, lo and behold, my district decided to make me district governor in 2013, despite the fact they didn't really understand what I was saying either. But that was the year of the greatest motto, engage Rotary, change lives. Sorry, Felix, I still feel that engage Rotary, change lives is the best. You know, because when we engage Rotary, you know whose life we change first is our own. And so I've always loved our motto and lived by our motto. And became the zone coordinator. And for those who don't know what zone is, the zone is Georgia, Florida, and the Caribbean, or most of it, not all of it. But we've also got 3 countries in South America. So that's my area of operation. And I just absolutely love it. And thank you, Felix. Felix and I are on the same team, and we generally try to increase membership. That's our biggest job. And Felix does a fabulous job, and it's a small team, but we're very, very active in trying to increase membership in our area. So here's the question: what is Rotary? You know, we get asked that a lot, don't we? And we don't answer it too well. So I'm going to put on one slide what I believe Rotary is, and let's have a look at that. It says it's a membership organization first and foremost. It's a membership organization that does service, not the other way around. And it's a business, professional, and community leaders, which means that, you know, we've got some talents that we want to share with our community. And we get together for fellowship, for networking, and to do good in our communities and beyond. That is Rotary on one slide, you know, but we need it all. Because if you take that bit out, what do we become? Well, now we're Kiwanis. So we got to put that back because we want to be Rotary. So that is in one slide what Rotary is all about for me, and I hope you agree. The most important thing about Rotary is its connection to community. Community is not only where we do the majority of our work and the majority of our goodness to our own community, but also it is our sales area. That's where we get our membership from. So being highly connected to our community is so very, very important. We need to let the community know what a great Rotary Club they've got, because they need to be proud of their Rotary Club. I know that Bartow's so proud of their Rotary Club because they tell us all the time how proud they are because of the fabulous things that we do in our community, and they're very, very proud. It's so important to be connected to your community, the community to know how good you are, because guess what? There's a lot of great people in that community who would love to be part of an organization that does this much good. And you make it happen. It's down to us You know, we can't turn around and say, well, Rotary didn't do this, Rotary didn't do that. It's us. It takes us and a team to make Rotary the best it can possibly be in the area that we're in. That is so important. I like to look on Rotary as a franchise because Rotary gives us the rules, but how we actually implement them, how we appear, how our club appears. And let me tell you, I visit so many clubs in a week. No club ever looks the same. They all, because they take the personality of the members, and that is fabulous because the members are Rotarians who care, and therefore the common thread is a caring club, cares for its community, cares about issues, cares about the world. But the franchise aspect is that you manifest it in the way that you feel as a club. And so it's very, very important that it reflects the members and reflects your communities. That's so important. So here's my gripe. People often say, what's the thing that gets you most upset about Rotary? The most upsetting thing I find is when I go to clubs who are so well organized. They're fabulously organized as far as raising funds, as far as connecting to the community and doing all sorts of things. And then you ask them for their membership policy. And in so many cases, it's a passive way that they actually bring members in. Say, well, the members bring them in when they find someone. You know, we need to have active membership, and thank you for that membership update earlier on. That's great. You obviously have got an active membership attraction policy, which is great. You'd be surprised how many Rotary clubs don't have that, you know. But it's so important that we actually seek out these fabulous people in our community who think like us. So, Rotary now more than ever. You know, I'd like to give you 3 words to think about, which came from John Hugo at our recent virtual convention. The first word he used was strong. We need to be Rotary strong. You know, if you've got, people in your club that look after club service, which is one of our avenues of service, their remit should be to make the club as strong as it can be. It's so important to have a strong Rotary club, and it should be vibrant. And from your meeting this morning, I can see you are vibrant, you know, because there's fun, there's energy, and that's how you tell if a club is vibrant. Now, you may think that all Rotary clubs are fun and vibrant. I can assure you they're not, but we're getting there. And the third thing is they must be relevant, must be relevant to the community, relevant to Rotary's principles. So relevance is so important, and relevant to the members of the club, because that's how we retain members, by being relevant to our members. So those are the 3 words that I wanted to give you. Oh, what did that just? Oh, the coconut. That's just to remind me to ask you, what's the difference between a coconut and a Scotsman? Well, you can get a drink out of a coconut. You've got very little chance of getting a drink out of a Scotsman. So here we are in this pandemic, and things have changed dramatically for all of us. Who would have thought that you know, this could have happened? And one of the major elements of Rotary, which is our getting together, would be under such threat. But you know, with all these challenges, there are opportunities. You know, I mean, who would have thought that we would have turned into a you know, it's like Honey, I Shrunk the Rotarians on our screens all the time now, you know, because this is how we see Rotary since March, and it's amazing how different this is. But we've adapted, and we've adapted well, in my opinion, and I can tell from your meetings, you've really adapted so well. And there are plenty of opportunities created by the fact that we're now in this pandemic. We mustn't look on it purely as the challenges. This is the opportunities. There's a lot of people who are stuck at home who would want to come along to a meeting and have an introduction to Rotary because they're looking for something different to do. You know, so there are opportunities within this this pandemic that shouldn't be ignored. And this is a great time to adapt. It's a time to think about how do we go forward. Because you know what, we're meeting like this, and some people are thinking, you know, I almost prefer this. So how are we going to accommodate that when we actually get back to being able to meet face to face? Will we still accommodate those who prefer this as a medium? So we have got to think about the adaptability. I wanted to show you a meeting that is now called a hybrid meeting, and in Florida, several clubs have started meeting in this hybrid fashion. which, as you can see, employs social distancing, but also they have live screen, which means that people who are sitting at home on their computers are still part of the meeting. They can see everyone, everyone can see them, and they can participate. So this is a new hybrid format, and there's guidance on how to set that up on our Zone 33-34 website. But this may be something that will actually become a permanent feature, because we do have to be adaptable, and we have to attract even those people who are very, very busy and only have a short time to come to our meetings. This may be a way forward. So I wanted to introduce you to that. Now I wanted to give you, I don't know, Winston Churchill was probably one of the most famous Rotarians ever. Don't know if you know that, but Winston Churchill was in the Rotary Club of London and was very, very proud of being a Rotarian. And so I wanted to give you Winston Churchill's guide to Rotary clubs, because he's also had some great sayings. So how's about this? Tact is a way of telling someone to go to hell in such a way that they're looking forward to the journey, which tells us to be diplomatic in Rotary. We should always be diplomatic and understand other people's point of view. That is so very important. Success consists of going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. You know, we need to set realistic but flexible goals in Rotary. You know, once we set a goal and we put it into Rotary Club Central and all that, guess what? If we want to change it, we can. And so flexible goals so that we can actually reach them. How about Americans will always do the right thing? And before I reveal the second part of that, I should actually point out that Winston Churchill was half American. His mother was American. So he said, Americans will always do the right thing, but only after having tried all the alternatives, which actually tells us not to be afraid to try new things. And that's particularly relevant currently as we go through this pandemic. We need to be innovative and try new things to keep our membership engaged in these trying times. Kites rise highest against the wind, not with it. And that tells us to be innovative and to grow Rotary. It's so important for us. You know, all the things that we join Rotary for, the fellowship, the networking, the doing good in the community, all of those things we can do more of and do better when we have more people, which is why it is so important for us all to develop that acquaintance. Remember those words, the development of acquaintance at the very core of Rotary. Let's grow Rotary. So an unpopular colleague said to Winston, Winston, can I borrow tuppence to phone a friend? He immediately responded, here's fourpence, why don't you phone both of them? Which reminds us to be financially realistic. And it was also a great comeback. I love that line. So, and here's my final one. Nancy asked to say, Winston, if you were my husband, I'd poison your tea. Immediate response, Nancy, if you were my wife, I'd drink it. Which reminds us in Rotary to never lose our sense of humor. It's very, very important that, I mean, I've enjoyed being in Rotary, and I laugh more every day because I enjoy what I do. As being Rotary coordinator, I'm also honored to do what I do, but throughout it all, I like to smile all the way through it. I actually wanted to tell you a quick story before I finish. Obviously, because I have this wide area to cover, and I do get out into the area from time to time. And I was out in the British Virgin Islands at the Rotary clubs out there, talking to their clubs when we still could. Had a fabulous time, and as you can imagine, the hospitality was wonderful. On the way back, I had to come through Puerto Rico, and I had to change planes. So at the airport, because I was so tired, I thought, well, I'll try and catch an earlier flight. So I went up to the desk, and this young lady who was behind the desk said, I asked her if there was any chance of getting on an earlier flight. Before answering me, she said, oh, I see you're a Rotarian. And I went, yeah, because I was wearing my pin. So she said, oh, you're a Rotarian. I said, yeah. She says, well, I can do better than get you on an earlier flight. I'm going to upgrade you as well. Aha. So who's going to be wearing their pin the next time they go to the airport? Because boy, oh boy, it was great. I got the big seat, I got the free drinks, and for those that don't know, I like 2 fingers of whiskey. But just in case you don't know, that's 2 fingers of whiskey, not those short measures to give you a minute. That's 2 fingers of whiskey. So I got the drink and I got the free, the big seat, and it was absolutely wonderful. But that's not my reason for telling you the story. My reason for telling you the story is quite simple. It's the 4 words that that young lady said to me as I walked away from the desk. She said, "You Rotarians are awesome." My word, those 4 words, "You Rotarians are awesome." And you know what? She's absolutely right. You are awesome. Thank you so much for the invite. I really, really appreciate it. I'll stand for questions if you so wish. But thank you again for having me here this morning. Really appreciate it.
Okay, President, remember to unmute your mic.
And I think I've given you the screen back, hopefully.
Thank you. President, you can unmute your mic.
I have, I'm good. Thank you. Any questions? You now have the opportunity to ask your questions.
So let me start the questions. So George, as a Rotary coordinator and seeing clubs all over the zone on a regular basis, what do you think would be some of the best practices you've seen from clubs?
Absolutely, Felix. And, you know, greatly innovative aspects that I've seen, you know, with regard to what people have managed to do online. I've seen cooking demonstrations, you know, virtual treasure troves, and so many different ways that people have tried to remain engaged. I think one of the most important things, Felix, as we've gone around is telling people to pay as much attention to who is not on the call as we do to who is on the call, because those are the people that have become disconnected. And the clubs that are doing well on that are getting great attendance. And with more people on, I think initially when we started this, we always had an awful lot of fun because we weren't it wasn't smooth. There was a lot of, you know, mistake. I mean, the most said words were, "Can you hear me?" You know, and you know, we've gone through that phase now, and we're now into, you know, the challenges of how do we continue to do good in the community when we can't actually physically get together with the community. Those are the biggest challenges that we're facing at the moment. We've seen some great food drives where Rotarians put food out their front door. Somebody comes around and picks them up, they just disappear, and they take them to the center where it's distributed. So there's no physical contact, but we can still actually make sure that there's food going into the community. Also because, and I'm unsure of the situation out there, Felix, but we have a lockdown of our you know, old folks' homes and places like that. So calls into those homes to let them know that Rotary cares, you know, sometimes a phone call can mean so much. You know, in these days of email and messaging and WhatsApp, you know, sometimes we forget that that spoken word can be so important. So calls in there to let them know the Rotary Club is there. Is there anything that we can do? And I've seen some Rotary clubs who are making those sticky circles that go on the floors of supermarkets and that, and saying things like the Rotary Club of would like you to stay 6 feet apart, that sort of thing, and supplying those. So innovation has been fabulous, Felix. I hope that's answered part of the question. I could go on, but
wonderful ideas. Thank you.
Great, great. Are there any other questions?
George or Felix, I wonder if you could comment on keeping Rotarians in the clubs, given the current and ongoing financial situation, particularly in the Caribbean. Like I talk to people every day who, like I work at a college. Every day people tell me I want to send somebody to school, but I'm out of work. How can we keep Rotarians in the club, given all the financial constraints in the Caribbean region?
Wonderful.
Do you want me to go, Felix?
Please.
I think that we have to be very, very mindful. It's surprising. I think that we've got to think of our fellow Rotarians first when we're actually thinking about what we're trying to achieve, and be very, very understanding that some of our members are hurting financially, maybe on furlough, may have lost their jobs, and so being very, very mindful. And I think our clubs are generally good. As you know, we can have temporary suspension of, but sometimes, what we actually raise, we can actually utilize to help ourselves. And I think that we need to be very, very mindful of that, because this is a real problem. And the fact is, we don't know how long this is going to go on.
Mm-hmm.
And so that feeling of goodwill that we show towards our communities, I've always felt that we need to show it to our fellow Rotarians as well. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. It is absolutely okay to help our fellow Rotarians, because we help other people in need. We shouldn't forget the fact that we can we should help our own Rotarians first. What do you think, Felix?
I quite agree. No, you answered that spot on, George.
Yes, great response. Are there any other questions? There being no more further questions, then I will invite Rotarian Bob to step forward and do the vote of thanks, please.
Well, George Robertson-Burnett. My name is Robert Robertson, so I was one of the few in the club who was able to understand your Aberdeen accent from start to finish. It's quite an enjoyable presentation. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your sharing some of your experiences, your Rotary experiences, because I think, as you just mentioned, one of the things we all face right now is almost a daily dose of bad news. And I think Rotary provides us with an opportunity to think positively and stay the Rotarian course. I think it's going to be another year or so of this kind of situation that we have to endure. And from my side, I've been very pleased and appreciative of the fact that I could every Thursday catch up with my colleagues with the Rotary Club of Nassau Sunrise. And I think you've reinforced that by your comments today. So I certainly want to thank you. I love the comments, the Scottish jokes, the the Wallace Monument and Braveheart. It was a very good picture as well. But I do have a question from Father P. as I finish my thoughts with welcome and thanks to you. Father P. has asked me if you're wearing short pants or long pants.
Well, I'm not wearing a kilt. I'm not wearing a kilt, and they are long.
I'm worried about the kilt too.
They're long, and he doesn't live in the.
I've never been asked that before.
Well, thank you, sir. I'll turn it back over to Madam President.
Please unmute your mic, Madam President.
Looks like we may have lost them.
Okay. Okay.
Good. Rotarian Bob. And now we'll have the four-way test by Rotarian Matt, please.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone, and fellow Rotarians. So the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Will it build goodwill and better relationships?
Will it build goodwill and better friendship?
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you.
Thank you, Rotarian Max. And our final toast by Rotarian Patrick.
Rotary around the world.
Rotary
around the world.
Around the world.
Okay, last chance for the raffle, a $50 Amazon gift card, which will be drawn shortly after the meeting. $3, 3 tickets for $10, 1 ticket for $5.
Okay, I'll take $10 worth.
Thank you.
Come on.
Put me down as well for $10. Crestwell.
Okay. All right.
I'll take $10 as well, Donna.
Who's that?
Perez.
Therese, okay. So we did very well this morning. Between our raffle and our fines, we've collected almost $350. Way to go!
Yay.
Do we have Rotarian John Dino added to that?
Yes.
Yeah.
$22 from
for 22 for fines, 10 for the raffle.
and 10 for the raffle. That's $32. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Okay, so we have it's extra, President. Maybe persons can fellowship.
3 minutes.
We have 3 minutes to the end of our meeting. So we have 3 minutes.
Our guest speaker, is he still there?
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
As an 18-year-old young man in 1970, I spent Christmas in Scotland. Would you believe it? A little place called Walkerbun. Have you heard of Walkerbun?
I've not heard of it, no.
Well,
How
I
do you
didn't
spell it?
either. It was a little convent there. And that wasn't, I would say, the most memorable Christmas for me as an 18-year-old. It was a little town in Scotland. And it was in a nunnery. And so the old ladies in the convent were quite intrigued by me and my fellow Bahamian because we were studying theology in England. Then I went down in Edinburgh, and this little boy came up to me and he rubbed my arm. He said, "Mommy, he's black."
What year was that?
1970. That's
Wow.
BC.
Fabulous. Well, I hope that Scotland warmed your heart.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I enjoyed it anyway.
That's fabulous.
Okay.
Okay.
Any more raffle purchases? 2 more minutes.
Anybody else for the raffle? We usually draw the raffle
1 minute.
hammer because they have
1 minute.
the tickets.
I will do $10 also, sorry.
Who's that?
Delisa
Okay.
Duncanson.
What club are you from, Delicia? Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Rotary Club of Nassau?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Final call for the raffle.
Okay, so Delisa, please post a phone number. Send a number to me in the event that you win the raffle. I'm going to need your email address to send you your Amazon gift card.
I can't let my member beat me. You could put me in, please.
Okay, so for the raffle, Stephen?
And that's along with the fine, right? That ain't the fine money now.
How do I have the tooth?
No problem at all. No problem at all.
This is the time that we can raise some monies online. You know,
Yes.
this is
Very interesting.
George, did you hear the other story about Winston Churchill? Of course, there's so many of them. He was quite a drinker. So this lady looked at him. He said, drunk. And he looked at her, ugly, ugly, ugly. Tomorrow, I'll be sober. Tomorrow, you'll still be ugly.
I didn't say that. I didn't put on a slide though.
That's actually an abbreviation of what he said to Lady Astor in the house. She said, Winston, you are drunk. And his reply was, yes, madam, I am. But tomorrow I shall be sober and you will still be ugly.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, so.
Thank you, everyone. And I wish you all a pleasant and a safe day. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye,
Thanks
George.
for coming, all our visitors, Rotarians. Thank you for being here. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.